Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Phoenix Draconis coming with you with another toy review video. And as you can see on the screen, this week's video is going to focus on Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy's core class, Megatron, Optimus Prime, and Soundwave. Now, I was lucky enough the other day to be at Walmart when I ran upon these. Now, they did have Starscream, but for some reason I just wasn't feeling him. Now, as for these three, yeah, I was able to go ahead and I had a good feeling, so I went ahead and picked these three up. So just based off of their illustrations, they are looking really cool looking. In the illustrations in the background, you see some action poses of each of the figures with their respective ships in the background, where Megatron and Soundwave have the Nemesis. You have, with Optimus, the Ark in the background. However, the location of its landing place is not on top of an active volcano. It is more at the base. But hey, what do I know? It's not like I saw the original series, you know, almost 40 years ago or so. Anyway, so we got each of them showcasing each of their respective robotic forms. On the back, you have their robotic as well as their alternate modes. Very, very nice looking. I really cannot wait to get these out of their plastic prisons. So one more look-see at each of the figures. Alrighty, and without any further ado, let's go ahead and get these opened up. Alright folks, there they are out of their packaging and ready for battle. And I have to say, they're not really bad. Honestly, I was not planning on getting them, but something told me I should go ahead and give them a shot anyway, and I'm kind of glad I did. If it's a matter of fact, I mean, as you can see right there, they're very small, and I mean, each of them has their own details. I mean, wow. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, give me a moment to go ahead and present each of them individually as well as the transformation. So we're going to start off with the great big cheese over here, Optimus Prime. And as a matter of fact, let me zoom in on him, and you can tell he's got a lot of great molded detail. You know, from the windows to the minor details within this figure is very outstanding. I'm going to zoom out just a bit to include his feet. And you can see as the light hits it, all the little details within here. Now, of course, there is some hollowness, you know, in the back here and so forth. I think there's like a gap filler kit on TF Safari. I may look into getting that, you know, for some of these here. But I have to say, I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing so far. And of course, he's got his beautiful ion blaster there. Very nice. And as the light hits it, you can see more of that molded detail on there. Very, very nice. And then, of course, on the legs, the same detail as you saw in the Voyager class figure. Very, very nice. Now, I kind of wish they had done some additional paint applications on the wheel wells and right here too, but you'll pretty much see that more as we go along. So, and of course, you know, You can't really see the blue of his eyes, mostly because the only thing that is painted on here on the head is his battle mask. So not too bad though. And of course you got the Autobot symbol right there on his on his left shoulder, I should say. Very, very nice. Alright, so now his head is very, very stiff. And it does go 360. Can turn left, can turn right. You can look up, but you know that's due to the transformation process, and that is about it. Now his arm is on a ball joint, so you can do 360. You can lift up like so. You do have a type of rotation at the ball joint here on the elbow, so you do have a rotation there, and like so. Now his arms can fold in, and there you go. It can fold in, but that is due to transformation. And of course, you know, you hear that snap, so that means that hand is on there. And he does have, he doesn't have much of a waist rotation or upper chest rotation either. So his leg is also on a ball joint at the hip. It can kick up around 90 degrees. It can kick back around 90 degrees. Can bend around a little over 90 degrees. And that is about it. He does have a built-in ankle tilt already. So that is about it right there. So, oops, hit the tripod. Sorry about that. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and take his pulse rifle, put that off to the side. And now we're going to go ahead and put the hands in like so. I'm going to do the same with the other one. Now for some reason this one is really tight, so do be careful if you experience that. And then you're folding these arms in, so it's sort of like the way it was in the G1 cartoon. Now you're going to go ahead and take this back piece here, fold that out, and I'm going to go ahead and twist this around so it's facing the back now. Now we're just going to go ahead and pull this butt piece up, and there you go. Now at this point you're going to go ahead and push the head down like so, and there it's sitting nestled inside his chest. You're going to push this down like that, and that covers up that empty space. Now at this point you're going to go ahead and take this piece, which is folded to the back. You're going to fold this forward, and there we go. That's going to be like so. Now at this point you're going to go ahead and push these arms down, or I should say in behind him like so. You're going to push this in. You're going to take these four arms and you're going to push those in as well. Push that in as well, like that. Now I don't know if anyone's mentioned it, there's a tab on each upper thigh that's going to go into a little peg right there, as you can see. So once that's on there, that's going to go in, and that's going to go in. Now at this point you're just going to go ahead and snap the legs together, and there you go. I'm going to go ahead and just tilt that. Ta-da! Alrighty, there he is, transformed in his marvelous vehicle mode. And that is pretty cool looking. Now, there is one little complaint, and that's that the wheels do not all roll, unfortunately. Oh, almost forgot. There is a peg for weapon storage, so you can peg that in there. Now, of course, as we already know, with this core class figure, unfortunately, it does not come with a trailer. So, if it does, it'd more than likely be a third-party add-on. But other than that, that is complete. And so, we're going to go ahead and transform him back into robot mode. We're going to untab the legs. We are going to go ahead and open, well, I should say, move the arms out, sort of G1 style. And we're going to take this front bumper and we're going to go ahead and put it back, but not before doing the twist. Now, there are these two pegs here and here. They're going to go into those slots in there. Alright. And now we're going to go ahead and push that back in and untab the legs. Now we're going to go ahead and just, there we go, fold that. We're going to open this up and push that in. And now try and get the head, and I'm going to use my trusty X-Acto knife. Now, using that, we're going to go ahead and try and lift the head up. There we go. Up we go, and there. Now, one final thing we need to do, and that's to get the hands out. So once those, we just slide those open, and there you should hear a nice little snap. And then do that again, and there we go. And then last but certainly not least, we put his ion blaster back in his hand. Alright, and there he is, all dressed up. There we go. Nice. So, right there, we have them ready for battle. All right. So, give me a couple minutes. I'm going to go ahead and bring Soundwave out, and then we'll continue on with his transformation. All right. So here we have Soundwave, and I have to say I am very impressed with the way he looks. He looks so much like his deluxe or Voyager class version from the next Netflix Soundwave. So very, very nice. As you can tell, they did a lot of great paint applications, especially along the missile pods in his shoulder mounted cannon. And then of course he's got some added details on his primary weapon and along, his shoulders and around his chest and everything. So very, very nice. And as we zoom closer into the face, that is very awesome indeed. Oh man, that, yeah, this is. So let's zoom out just a bit. Okay, so like Optimus, or I should say, yeah, like Optimus, his head is, I want to say it's on a enclosed ball joint. He can turn 360, can look left, can look right. He can look up, but again, that portion, him looking up, is due to the fact that his head will go down during transformation. His arms are also on a ball joint, very tight in this version. I'm afraid of breaking it. It can go up like so. He does have, lower wrist rotation, and of course, it's on a ball joint, so you're able to snap that back on. It can bend at around 90 degrees. Now, there is no wrist rotation. It can go down, but that's due to transformation. There is no waist rotation, and he does have a front crotch skirt, and it will allow him to kick out like so. He won't be able to kick back due to the butt flap back here. He does have upper thigh rotation. He can bend around 90 degrees at the knee, and he does have a type of toe tilt or foot tilt going back, but again, this is due to transformation. So, and of course, this is a very nice figure. I really like the molded details on there. The paint applications are so awesome. Man. Oh, there's also one other thing. In addition to his shoulder mounted missile launcher as well as his primary weapon, his chest does open to reveal a cassette. Now unfortunately this does not transform, but you also see, and I'm going to try and show that off. There we go. Some really good molded details in the chest. So that, you can close that up. So now to put him in robot mode, you have to take off his accessories. Put that there and take off his primary weapon. Alright, so now we're going to fold the hands in. Fold the hands in here. There we go. Now at this point we're going to turn the head backwards and then push that down. Now at this point we're going to go ahead and fold the arms in. Oh, one thing I want to go ahead and show you. I don't know if you can catch in the light. There's a tab here and a tab here. That's going to fit onto that slot right there on the arm. So when you turn this in, you just snap that like so. You're going to do the same with the other arm. And there you go. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and turn the legs out. And we're going to go ahead and fold these in. Now, I don't know if anyone's noticed it yet, but there is a slot right there, and that's going to go into this tab right here on the sides. So once you fold the legs in like that, there you go. And we're going to do the same with the other leg. And then of course the feet will go down, and there you go. Very, very nice. Now, one nitpick that I do have is the toes tend to stick out. Now, I kind of wish they had done what they did with the Netflix Soundwave, where there was a top that opened up at the bottom of the foot and allowed the foot to slide in, and then you just tap that in there. But all in all, it is not too bad. So I really like it. All right, and of course the transformation back. Oh, almost forgot. So these accessories also peg into the back. Now, for anyone that grew up watching or having the original G1 version of these characters, you will remember that the weapons were also batteries, and they stored in the back, so they weren't plugged into the back here. But in this particular case, that's how it is now. So all in all, boom, there you go, right there. Not a bad looking cassette tape mode. So now we're going to go ahead and get to the main event. And at this point, we're going to bring out the big man himself, Megatron. Alright folks, there he is, the leader of the Decepticons, Megatron. And to say, I like how they kept the G1 aesthetic of the character, and I'm very impressed with it. Now, of course, he does have a different look to him when it comes down to this core class version of him, where in his leader, or I should say his deluxe class version, he had this backpack which was comprised of the tank treads. Now, as you can tell on the side, he's got them along his back arms. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they could have gone ahead and made it to where it folds in, but they did not do that. And so like I said, in my personal opinion, they could have done that, but they didn't. I like how, I don't know if you can see it, but they do have some great molded detail within the back area. And one of his weapons actually is able to plug in, and so you do have a very, very cool looking G1 aesthetic, especially when you have them looking straight on or so forth. And that is awesome looking. I really like that. Wow. Yeah, that is nice looking. So let's go ahead and take a look at some more detailing. And as you can tell, they really did a very nice job in the paint applications. Of course, you got the typographed, Decepticon symbol, but you can tell they tried their best to add on to those eyes. And man, oh man, that is awesome looking. So let's go ahead and zoom out just a bit. There we go. And so, yeah. Now, of course, they could have gone ahead and added some black to the treads or some gray instead of putting it silver, just to break up the monotony, especially of the silver. But I like it nonetheless. Really good detailing. As you can tell, as the light is hitting a lot of the pieces on here that are just straight plastic, you can tell they did some really good jobs in molding this. Alright, so in this case, his head is on a type of peg, and you're able to turn 360. You're not able to look up or down, but you can look left, you can look right. His arms are on a ball joint, so you can do this. You can be able to move forward. You're not able to turn back or go 360 because of the backpack. His elbows are also ball joints, so you can, his arm's able to move around at least 90 degrees and can twist like so. Now, he does have waist rotation, so that's a good thing there. He can kick back, he can kick forward 90 degrees. He's able to bend, at around 90 degrees. And that is about it. So very, very nice. Now, granted, the up on the upper thigh as well as the knee, they are on ball joints. So if a leg ever pops up, you're able to pop it back in there. So now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and start off with transformation. One of the things you're going to do is take off his weapon, which can also be used as a secondary weapon. So he can, if he winds up having hot rod or core class hot rod in his hands, and be able to shoot at prime. You know, shoot at prime, yelling, "Die! Die!" So, but other than that, yes, very, very nice. So, let's go ahead and take his weapon, put that off to the side for the time being. Alrighty, so one of the things we are going to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn the head around. So even if you look underneath, you won't be able to see his face. At this point, you're going to go ahead and turn the cannon up like so. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and seeing as how this back section is on a rocker hinge, just going to untap and push up. And I'm going to push the arms up behind him like so. And we are going to turn this arm around so that this pig is pointing in. And that's going to go, for those that did not see it, there is a pig right here that's going to go into this hole right there in the side of his cannon. And now one thing that I almost forgot is that this hand can rotate, especially in transformation mode, so that way this section will go up to match this arm. Now at this point, all you gotta do is peg that in, and there we go. There is a couple pegs here on the sides that are gonna go into those slots. Don't know if you can see it, but there are slots there, and then that's going to hold the cannon. Now at this point, we're just going to go ahead and push the rest of this up. Oh, maybe I should just keep it. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I need to go ahead and keep his head forward like so. I thought turning it around, but it's just hitting the back of it and it's not remaining flush. And there we go. Alright. So now this front portion is done. Now we need to go ahead and just turn this around. Oh, one thing I did forget to do, shoot, and that's to twist turn the waist around so it's facing back. Now we can go ahead and get the legs down, and we're going to go ahead, there is a type of hitch right here that's going to go underneath this section of the leg. But at the same time, we also need to make sure that this little tab right here, if you can see it right here, goes into this section right here. So we're gonna go ahead and try and get this on here. Come on. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it's got a soft little snap, so once you hear it, then there you go. Now all you gotta do is just hitch these up. There we go. And that's it. Now, one last thing is this weapon there is that hole there. You're going to go ahead and slide this in here, and there you go. Then all you got to do is have that like so. And that is it. Now granted, it's not the barrel is not as impressively long as it was in the Siege or Earthrise versions of the figure, but not too shabby. Now as the light hits it, you will see a lot of good molded detail on here. And I'm not sure Toy Hacks has any repo labels for this. If they do, then great. But other than that, you do have that little rotating section going on, so you can rotate. The barrel can go up just a bit. So, not too bad. Alright. So, other than that, that's about it for Megatron. So give me a moment. I'm going to take a few pics, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring them all back into the robot mode. Now I'm going to give you my score and my final thoughts. Alright folks, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do some creative posing here. So they're trying to do a type of Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter type motif here. Anyway, moving on. So, in terms of the scores for each of the individual figures, I'm going to go ahead and give Optimus an 8, mostly because of the fact of, there's an issue with the head, not being able to pop out like, you're able to. So you have to use, something dangerous like this to pry it open. Also, lack of paint applications, and that stiffness in the left hand is an issue as well. With Megatron, let's see here. Again, like with Optimus, lack of additional paint apps or even decals, especially in his vehicle mode. Though, as ingenious as it was to put that secondary weapon on his back to give it a more G1 look, it really wasn't all that impressive when it came down to the tank. So it was kind of lacking there. Not to mention, the legs were a little bit kind of loose when I was posing them, so it kind of gave them the splits. Not too bad, but it was just very inopportune when I was doing it. So with Soundwave, oh, that's right, score. I want to give Megatron an 8 as well. Now, the score for Soundwave, I'm pretty much going to go ahead and give him a 9. This is a very, very, very close to his original G1 transformation. Like I said, they accomplished that with the core class that Hasbro failed with the Netflix version, and that's with the transformation in there. Now, of course, what took away was that the feet still kind of wound up sticking up still. They could have found a way to get that to fold in properly. Also, every so often the weapons will pop off, as you saw earlier, so do be careful, because the last time in one of my earlier recordings for this video, it took me over an hour to find out where the hell it landed. So granted, as good of a backdrop as it is, I am going to have to try and get this enclosed in a much more larger light box, so where not only will I have better lighting, but at the same time it's enclosed, so if something pops out, it will pop out in there. But other than that, that is my take on these figures. What is your opinion? Have you picked this set? Have you picked up these figures up? And if so, do you like them? Do you hate them? Leave me your comments about this in the comments section down below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. Every like and share and subscription helps my channel out immensely. And if you also went ahead and clicked onto the bell icon, you'll also be notified on when I put out new videos. Also, I'm also going to go ahead and start putting in links to my playlist. So this will be part of a playlist that I will have, and by all means, do check them out, because you'll find a lot of cool videos among my playlists. So other than that, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching my videos, for supporting me in just for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. If nothing else, I'd like to thank once again each and every one of you. This is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch each and every one of you on the flip side. Peace.